Hey gun people, buddy of mine picked up a couple Glocks and he wanted me to kind of go over them and do a little detailing on them, do a little trigger job, smooth out the trigger, etc. So I had a lot of questions about that. I think I did a couple videos on it, but I'm going to show you kind of what the difference is. This is a Gen 4 Glock 21. They're both Glock 21, makes them a 45. That's the only number I know. I think the 17, 19's something, 9mm, 40. I don't know. I never got the numbers. So these Glocks are both about the same Glocks. Pretty much hard to tell them a difference. This says Gen 4 on it. You can kind of tell on the grips right here. This grip is a little bit more what they call aggressive. It feels more aggressive. This is smoother. Some people like smooth. Some people like aggressive because if your hands are sweaty or you get mud, they want more of an aggressive grip. So these two guns are about the same. They're both 45s. What I wanted to do is pull off the slides on these two. And then we're going to look at the inside of these slides here, and I'm going to show you the difference of the two. So if you look at these two slides, you're going to see this, some people call it cosmoline, or it's like that grease. When you get a Glock and it's not cleaned real well, it will sometimes have this. And it's like a bronze grease. And I can always tell when either Glock hasn't been fired or hasn't been cleaned much because you get that. And it's got some right in here. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. It's also got some right here. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up. So I'm gonna have to do a part 1 and probably part 2. But just by looking at these two guns, you can tell they're not fired too much. I don't see a lot of shininess on these two guns. And on the two slides, if you look, and again, I don't know how much it's going to pick it up, you can tell a little bit. Move this camera over here so I'm closer to the camera. You can tell a little bit that this gun right here is a little bit shinier, like right here on the cut, maybe right here on these rails. If you look straight down at the rails here, this rail is a little bit shinier, these are a little bit duller. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to polish up what would normally happen over a gun if you shot it 1,000 times. So I'm going to take this little Dremel here with a little bit of flitz, and I'm going to polish up these 4 little rail points. I'm going to polish up this little piece right here, the trigger, etc. And then I'm also going to polish up this little, what's it called? Safety release something. It's a firing pin block pin. And if you can tell, they're not real shiny. Even though they're not real clean, they're just not real shiny. I want to make them shiny. This part right here, I'm going to shine that part up. And I'm also going to polish up the ramp right here. You can tell it's a little bit clean, but it's going to be mirror finish after I polish it up real quick. And it doesn't take long. I'll turn this on with a little fliz. Oh shit. That ain't my little soft one. Anyway, I'm going to polish this up with a little fliz here, and it'll be shiny, and or flitz. And I'm going to do a job, and then I'm going to do one of these guns and show you, and then the other one. And of course, I want to keep these in the same area, but I'm going to pull these internals out. Sometimes moving these things around a little bit will help this pin to come out. So I'm going to be polishing that up, and then when I get done with this gun, I'm going to have all these 4 little males. They'll be nice and shiny and smooth, like they've been run a lot. This will be nice and shiny. This little piece right here will be nice and shiny, and this little piece will be nice and shiny. And then of course on the trigger guard itself, I mean this isn't too dirty, but I'm going to polish up that little area there that runs. I'm going to polish up this little area right here because this is where you trigger. You can see the cosmoline there, that grease they use, that bronze grease. These are friction areas, and as that rubs, I'm going to polish both sides of this, and this little tip right there, because that's where your trigger's at. When you pull your trigger, it slides back and forth like that. And then I'm going to polish this area up top here that you can tell it's got a little bit of wear. I don't know if you can see a little bit of polish right there. There's a little reflective area I can see. And that's from things rubbing on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that nice and smooth, so whatever's rubbing on it, you're going to have two mirror finishes rubbing on each other. So I'm going to do this gun, and then I'll have it next to this gun that I didn't do. So you can tell the difference on what they look like before and then what one looks like that's done that's not done. Alright, so we'll make this. I'm going to go ahead and pull this part out here too. This is the Gen 4, so this one goes with this one, and this one goes with this one. And I'll go ahead and rip these internals out real quick. I'm going to polish that up a little bit. And this little piece right here, because it needs to be, this should all be a nice mirror finish when I'm finished. Alright, so I'm going to work on this one, do my polishing on this one, then I'll show you the one I didn't do compared to the one I did. And then you'll know what kind of things I touch on when I do these. And we'll make this part one of a couple of used Glocks. He hasn't shot either one of them yet. He just wanted me to clean them up and go over them real good, so I'm going to do that. And part two will be what it looks like afterwards. Man, I lose light back here in that corner, don't I? Anyway, alright, part one, over.